When electricity and water disappear in a high-rise apartment building, the first 12 hours don't seem like a big deal. People light candles, use their phone flashlights, and wait for the utilities to come back. But if the outage lasts longer, the situation changes quickly. By the third day, ordinary life inside the building begins to turn into a survival challenge. Without preparation, a modern apartment, which normally feels clean and safe, can very quickly become the center of unsanitary conditions. Smells spread, insects appear, pipes stop working, and stress levels rise among residents. The key to avoiding this scenario is acting early before the problem grows out of control. In this guide, you will learn how to organize a basic sanitation system inside a high-rise apartment if water and electricity are gone for an extended period of time. These simple steps can help protect your health, maintain hygiene, and prevent your home from becoming unsafe during a long blackout. Many people assume that if they store enough technical water, the problem will be solved. Unfortunately, that belief is a dangerous misconception. Most apartment sewer systems operate using gravity. Waste travels downward through vertical pipes and eventually leaves the building through underground lines. However, this process only works properly when there is a constant flow of water pushing waste through the system. When a blackout happens and everyone starts conserving water, that flow disappears. Solid waste begins settling in the basement pipes instead of being flushed away. At first, nothing seems wrong, but within a few hours, the buildup can block the main sewer line. By evening, the entire vertical pipe may become clogged. At that point, anything flushed by residents on the upper floors does not leave the building anymore. Instead, pressure builds in the pipes, and the waste can be forced backward, often emerging from toilets on the first or second floors. This is why the first and most important rule during a prolonged outage is simple. If there is no reliable water supply, forget about the flush button. Especially if you live on the lower floors of the building, you are in the highest risk zone. Your priority is to prevent sewage and foul odors from entering your apartment through the toilet. The good news is that there are two simple methods that can effectively block the toilet drain and protect your home. The first option is the quick method, a temporary water plug. Take a heavy-duty trash bag with a capacity of 60 to 100 liters. Fill the bag with water, tie it tightly so it cannot leak, and push it firmly into the toilet drain opening. The water-filled bag acts like a flexible stopper that seals the pipe. To make sure it stays in place a weight on top of it. A brick or a stone wrapped in cloth works well and prevents the bag from moving. The second option is a more reliable mechanical plug. For this method, you can use a regular rubber ball. Push the ball deep into the curved part of the toilet bowl, the internal bend of the pipe. Then inflate the ball using a pump. As the ball expands, it forms a tight seal inside the pipe. This creates a strong barrier that can withstand even significant pressure coming from the sewer line below. Regardless of which method you use, there is an important safety rule to remember. Never remove the plug until you are absolutely sure that the sewer system is functioning again and the pipes in the basement are empty. Removing the seal too early could allow contaminated water to flow back into your apartment. Once your toilet is sealed and protected, the next question becomes obvious. Where do you go to the bathroom? There are two main approaches, depending on whether you prepared in advance or not. If you planned ahead, you may already own a portable chemical toilet. Many campers and travelers use these devices, and they are the most comfortable option during an emergency. Portable toilets have several advantages. They usually contain a built-in water seal that reduces odor, and they use chemical liquids that break down waste and limit bacterial growth. As a result, they are relatively hygienic and easy to use indoors. However, they also have limitations that many people overlook in urban environments. Most portable toilets have a small capacity, typically between 12 and 20 liters. For a family of 3 people, that container can fill up in as little as 2 days. When that happens, the contents must be emptied somewhere. If the municipal sewer system is not working, finding a safe disposal location can become difficult. In those cases, the waste should only be emptied into an outdoor pit or a designated sanitation facility, never under apartment windows or near living areas. There is another important warning about portable toilets. Do not add materials like sawdust, peat, or cat litter inside them. These toilets are designed to work with special chemical liquids that dissolve waste. Only use the recommended solutions, often blue or green depending on the product, to ensure the system works correctly. Unfortunately, most people do not have a portable toilet available at home. In that situation, the practical solution is to create a simple dry toilet using your existing toilet bowl as a frame. Start by lifting the toilet seat and inserting a heavy-duty trash bag inside the bowl. Ideally, you should use 2 bags, one inside the other, to reduce the risk of leaks. Thin household trash bags are not strong enough for this job. It is better to use construction-grade or extra-strong bags designed to carry heavy materials. Some people also place an old pillowcase around the outside of the bag. The fabric acts as an additional layer of protection and prevents the bag from tearing against the ceramic surface. After inserting the bags, secure their edges with duct tape or clamp them under the toilet seat so they cannot slip inside the bowl. The structure must be stable and reliable because a falling bag at the wrong moment can create a serious mess. But the real secret to maintaining sanitation and preventing unbearable odors lies in something called the 2-bucket system. This principle is extremely important. Instead of collecting all waste together, you separate liquids and solids into different containers. One container is used only for urine, and the other is used only for solid waste and toilet paper. The reason for this separation is simple chemistry. The strongest sewage odor is produced when liquid and solid waste mix together. Urine accelerates bacterial decomposition, which quickly creates the familiar and unpleasant smell of sewage. If the 2 types of waste remain separated, the smell becomes dramatically weaker and easier to manage. For the liquid container, you can use a regular plastic bucket, a wide neck canister, or even a large bottle. This container is used exclusively for urination. Fresh urine is almost sterile and does not pose the same biological hazard as fecal waste. Because of this, disposing of it is much easier. If the building's pipes still allow liquids to drain slowly, the contents can sometimes be poured into the toilet without flushing. Otherwise, it can be safely disposed of outside in soil or a storm drain. There is one strict rule for this container. Never throw toilet paper inside it. Paper absorbs moisture, breaks down, and quickly turns the container into a foul-smelling slurry. All toilet paper should go into the second container. The solid waste container is the one that requires the most careful handling. If you are using the toilet bowl with a bag inside, that bag effectively becomes the container. Again, 2 strong bags should be placed inside one another to prevent leaks. Before using the bag, sprinkle a 2 or 3 centimeter layer of absorbent material on the bottom. This creates a cushion that absorbs moisture and begins controlling odors immediately. From that point forward, only 3 things should go into this container: solid waste, toilet paper, and absorbent material. Water should never be added. To control odors effectively, use what is often called the layering method. After each use, immediately cover the waste with another layer of absorbent material. Do not leave anything exposed. The goal is to completely hide the waste beneath the absorbent layer. This simple action serves 2 important purposes. It blocks unpleasant smells from spreading through the apartment, and it prevents insects from reaching the waste. Flies are particularly dangerous during sanitation crises because they can carry infectious bacteria from waste to food and living surfaces. If the waste is completely covered, flies cannot reach it. Several materials work well as absorbent layers. One of the best options is cat litter, especially wood pellets or bentonite clay. Wood pellets break down into sawdust when wet and naturally smell like wood. Bentonite litter forms tight clumps that trap moisture and odors. Sawdust or peat are also excellent absorbents if they are available. If nothing else is available, shredded newspapers or torn cardboard from egg cartons can also help absorb moisture, though they are less effective. One thing you should avoid using is soil from outside. Soil can contain insect eggs or parasites, which could introduce additional problems into your apartment. Always use clean, dry materials whenever possible. There is also a common myth about odor control that should be addressed. Many people suggest adding baking soda to reduce smells. In reality, baking soda is alkaline, and in a moist environment, it can actually increase the smell of ammonia produced by urine. A better solution is citric acid, the common food-grade powder sold in small packets. Citric acid neutralizes alkaline odors and helps reduce ammonia smells. A small sprinkle over the absorbent layer can significantly improve odor control. Another mistake can be far more dangerous. Some people attempt to disinfect waste containers by adding chlorine bleach. This should never be done in a container that contains urine. When chlorine bleach mixes with ammonia found in urine, it produces chloramine gas, a toxic chemical that can cause severe irritation and damage to the lungs and eyes, especially in a small bathroom with poor ventilation. During extended outages, additional measures can help reduce odors. For example, crushed charcoal or fireplace ash can act as a natural gas absorber when mixed with sawdust or litter. Another trick is creating an oil spray barrier. Mix a little water with a few drops of essential oil, such as mint, tea tree, or fir, and spray the inside of the bag before use. The oil forms a thin film on the surface that helps trap odors while also lightly disinfecting the air. Personal hygiene also requires adaptation during a water shortage. Clean drinking water should be saved for drinking and cooking, not for washing hands. Instead, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer and wet wipes. However, wet wipes should always be disposed of in a separate bag. Most wipes are made from synthetic fibers that do not break down easily and can interfere with the absorbent materials in the waste container. Eventually, the waste bag will fill up. It is important to replace the bag when it is about half full. Waiting until it is completely full makes it too heavy and increases the risk that the bag will tear during transport. The sealed bag should be taken to outdoor garbage containers. In many cities, waste collection continues even during power outages. Do not bury waste in parks or yards, as this can contaminate groundwater and attract animals. And finally, never leave waste bags near the building entrance. Besides being unsanitary, it shows disrespect to neighbors and creates health risks for everyone. Preparing a few supplies in advance can make a major difference during a prolonged outage. For a family of several people, a 1-week sanitation kit might include strong trash bags, several large bags of wood pellet cat litter, packets of citric acid, wet wipes, reinforced duct tape, and a small bottle of essential oil or sanitizer. These simple items can prevent many sanitation problems and make living through a blackout far more manageable. It might seem like a lot of effort just to maintain a temporary toilet system. But sanitation has a powerful impact on human psychology. Bad smells and dirty living conditions destroy morale quickly. When a home feels unclean and chaotic, people lose motivation and emotional resilience. On the other hand, maintaining basic cleanliness, even during a crisis, helps preserve dignity, discipline, and mental stability. Clean hands and a functional toilet help people remain calm and organized, even under difficult circumstances. Remember that every blackout eventually ends. Your goal is simply to stay healthy and avoid infections until normal utilities return. Share this information with your neighbors, because sanitation in an apartment building is a collective responsibility. If one resident continues flushing the toilet while others try to prevent clogs, the entire system can fail. Print instructions, send the information in your building's group chat, and cooperate with the people living around you. Working together makes survival in difficult conditions much easier. Stay calm, stay prepared, and take care of yourselves.